Well, hi there. My name is Jennifer, and welcome to my channel and specifically my couch. I wanted to be a little more cozy today because I want to talk about therapy. And you might say, Jennifer, that is a really unusual topic under the umbrella of your series of how you're starting a YouTube channel in midlife with no experience. And I would agree with you that on the surface, that doesn't seem like a likely topic. But if you have watched any of my previous videos before, as I embark on this journey of becoming a content creator, it is something that I had wanted to do for 5 years. And for 5 years, I put it off for a variety of reasons. And I really struggled with perfectionism and doubt and uncertainty. But getting into therapy was one of the roads that, in tools, I guess maybe we could say a tool in my life that finally got me on the road to finally starting this YouTube channel. And I was thinking, if you're like me, a human being, life happens to us all. And when we get ready to embark on something like this is a public experience. I'm not just in my home creating videos for my own personal library. I am hoping to give encouragement. That's the main goal of my channel, is encouragement, a little bit of joy. I love sharing things I'm learning. And when you get ready to embark on something that is this public, you have to be really sure about yourself. And I got that thought stuck in my head after I listened to a sermon by T.D. Jakes. So I'm a person of faith, and I have a collection of favorite preachers and teachers I like to listen to. I was listening to a T.D. Jakes sermon, and he was talking about how much God loves us. And he's like, God loves you so much, you need to get sold out on you. Because if God loves you that much, you're in good standing. And that stuck with me. Oh, and by the way, I've got this most adorable Studio Ghibli tea mug, but I have water in it right now. But anyway, so TD Jakes was talking about getting sold out on you. And as YouTube content creators, we have got to be sold out on us. And not in that type of egotistical way, but in that confident way of, I am made to connect with other people, and I need to step into that. And the only way that I can step into that is if I believe that I'm worthy to be in that place. And, life happens to us all. This earthly life is such a unique experience. And we all go through the ups and downs. I mean, there's so many amazing things, experiences and people, opportunities that we have in our lifetimes, but then there can also be really difficult times. And this is also going to circle back to YouTube in a really unique way as well. And I've got my notes down here, so if you see me looking down. So what I wanted to share with you, so I was somebody who wanted to start YouTube for 5 years, and I just really doubted. One of my struggles, and if you watched my iceberg model videos, my iceberg model part 1, I share the negative thoughts that I had that prevented me from actually stepping into this calling of becoming a YouTube content creator. And one of the biggest things was I really doubted, who am I? I'm nobody special. And then not only that, I lacked a little self-worth, to be honest, guys. I was really struggling with, am I even worthy enough to put myself out there? And I know I'm talking to somebody who's been there, where you have really struggled with your value. And it really stemmed for me, without going into all of the details in this particular video, but my family and I experienced a couple of major losses in our lives. This was about 10 years ago, and some major life shift. Like, shifts about 180 degrees, to be honest. It's like my life was humming along in a pretty predictable way. And then it was just a series of events that happened that just kind of sucked the wind right out of our sails, if you will. And it was some pretty large changes. And we had a couple of years of just sort of grieving the loss and the change. And then a good amount of years of just reimagining, okay, what does life look like now? Like I thought that I knew how life looked like, but after this experience and now we're here, what does this new phase look like? What does my life look like now? I'm not sure. And then that was a process. Well, one of my daughters was going to therapy. And she said these wonderful words to me. And let me say this too. I'm not saying you should go to therapy. You need to go to therapy. You ought to go to therapy. But if you've ever considered it, I would say do it because it is so helpful. And, this is a very personal decision. It does not fit everybody, but maybe it might fit you. And for me, so my daughter had been going to therapy. And she said these words to me. She said, Mom, if I could make you go to therapy, I would. And I remember I kind of thought to myself, because I've never had anything against therapy at all. My thought was like, well, I don't know what I would say if I ever got to a therapist office and they asked me, well, why are you here? I thought, well, I don't really know what I would say because I am really good at communicating my inner thoughts and my worries and my struggles. And during that lost time, and trying to figure out what the future looked like time frame, I would talk about all the things. So when my daughter said that to me, I thought, well, I already talk about everything. Like, I don't know what I would get really. And then the Lord just dropped in my heart and he said, yes, Jennifer, you are talking about it, but the problem is you're not healing. And I was like, oh, okay, that's actually a good point. I could talk about all the things, but I wasn't able to get to the deeper level and I didn't know how to in order to heal that part of my life. Because when that part happened, it had really brought up things from childhood, which I didn't even realize. And guys, I should have had therapy when I was a teenager. I'm 53. And when I was younger, you didn't really do therapy. Therapy had a stigma attached to it. And I am so glad we are in a time where that is absolutely not the case. Therapy is amazing. I love it so much. It has helped me like leaps and bounds. And I could not have made the changes that I have made in my thinking. That goes back to that iceberg model in my previous videos. I couldn't have done that without therapy. So I just want to share this as inspiration. If you're like, wow, I feel just stuck. Like I really want to go forward, but I'm stuck. It might be worth a try. Anyway, so once I realized that, you know what, maybe therapy might have something for me. And this is where it's going to circle back to YouTube here really soon. Let me take a quick little sip. Isn't this so adorable? Are any of you guys Studio Ghibli fans? I have a mural in my downstairs laundry room and bathroom that my children and I, when they were younger, we painted all Studio Ghibli characters from Totoro to characters in Spirited Away, Nausicaa, all the things. And yeah, it's pretty special. But anyway, back to therapy. So I began my first therapy journey with talk therapy, which was really wonderful. And that counselor, she was really good at shining a light on an issue. But as time went on, I realized I needed something a little bit different. And I had heard the term cognitive therapy. So I'm like, okay, cognitive. I think maybe that's what I need. And you know why? So I was really wanting to step into the next chapter of my life. YouTube was one of those goals. And I was struggling with a lot of self-doubt. So I started trying affirmations. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start positive affirmations, So I did that. I started in the morning. I'm loved. I'm blessed. I'm I'm this, I'm that, I'm successful, I can do, amazing things, or, whatever my affirmations were. But it was so funny, guys, is as I was saying these positive affirmations, I'm loved, I'm blessed, and, la la la, I said all these positive affirmations. There was the other part of my brain that would say to me, you know how you talk to yourself and it's like your deeper essence of yourself, you're talking with your other part. And so my brain is like positive affirmations. And then this other part of me said, like with kind of like a snark, you're not buying what you're selling. And I thought to myself, you know what? I think you might have a point there. I'm not buying what I'm selling. These positive affirmations aren't working. And that's when I started thinking a little bit more about cognitive therapy. Like maybe I need to go deeper. And that is how I found, and I'm not sponsored, guys, so WU, Wu Wei Wisdom here on YouTube. Because I had looked for some cognitive therapists here in my city, but everybody was booked up. Sometimes it could be really hard to get in and see therapists which I guess is a good thing. That means they're busy, but it can also be difficult if you'd really like to get in. There was nobody available in my local area. So I found Wu Wei Wisdom with David and Alex Lees, Lees, here on YouTube. And they do, he calls it the Chinese method for cognitive thinking, and they do role playing. Their channel is so incredible, guys. And David Lees counsels with people globally. So in all of my research, I went to wonderful YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube led me, because I think I was like, what's cognitive therapy? And it brought me to Wu Wei Wisdom and David Lees. And I started watching all their content, and so amazing and helpful that I decided to take the next step and actually book several sessions, which I did over about a year and a half. In fact, I want to have another one. They're so good. And I began my cognitive therapy process with Wu Wei Wisdom. And it was absolutely life transforming and allowed me to be open to the positive thoughts. And I was able to get rid of those doubts that were holding me back, like perfectionism, uncertainty, all those things that keep us from actually pursuing the life that we want. And I was able to retrain. I think of it like watering soil. The water goes down, and it takes a while to go down to the deep roots. That to me is cognitive therapy. And that is something that I did. And I thank YouTube for leading me to Wu Wei Wisdom. And so I just wanted to present this topic to you, that as I'm embarking on this series of what it's like to start a YouTube channel with me, I thought this was a really important topic because it is something that really helped me. So until the next video, I'll see you later. All right. Bye, everybody.